who are known as Obedience, have recently engaged in a sort of caustic exchange of words with Professor Wale Soyinka, the Nobel laureate, and he said that they simply don't accept any form of criticism. And I think it was around the time when he made the comments about fascism and your deputy, Yusuf Baba Dati Ahmed. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Charles Prof is a respected, revered personality in Nigeria and globally. And I've always respected him. And he's a dear father to me. And for me, I was very, very sad that there was such a change. Some of the obedience, I must tell you, or people they, mentioned that the obedience are not entirely people who are with us. The oppositions have also come into it and are using it at times.
You mean other opposition
Other
parties?
opposition parties.
Right.
But that is not to worry about. But I was very sad there was such a change between a respected father and but you have to understand this. These young people are people who have been so deprived by supposedly a system that is supposed to care for them. They've been pushed to the wall. Even me, Charles, the way they even react when I say things. But I could see their pain. I could feel it. Because I live in the same system, Charles, that they are living in. I said it in Enugu 2 days ago. I said, listen, I lived in this town. I went to JL in Enugu as a student, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and paid 2,600 and something naira for a Volkswagen car. And within 2 years, Umano Motors in Nsukka sold a 505 to me at 2,700 naira, sorry, at 6,800 and something naira in the same country. I remember Ozumano telling me that they have too many orders from so many lecturers, so my own will be delayed. If you go and see people like Professor Wala, my lecturer then, they are driving new cars. It's some society where we lived, everything was working. All of a sudden, these young fellows now live in what you can consider a war situation.
Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. There is a misleading report by the People's Gazette in which the newspaper or the online newspaper is spreading fake news that Peter Obi said that the Obidient Movement is now divided, that some are no longer with Peter Obi. It is not true. That's not what Peter Obi said. You listen to his interview right now. There was never a time Peter Obi said that there is division in the Obidient Movement, that the Obidient Movement are now divided and that some are no longer with Peter Obi. That's not what he said. So it was wrong of People's Gazette and others who are spreading this fake news that Peter Obi said that some members of the Obidient Movement are working against the Labour Party. and are serving as attack dogs for the opposition. Now, what Peter Obi said, if you had listened carefully, what Peter Obi said is that there are people who are masquerading. That's what he was saying there. That there are people who are masquerading as obedience. Many of them trollers online claiming to be obedient, but are actually moles that were planted by the APC in particular and the PDP. That's the message he was trying to convey there. So it was wrong for a news medium and for other people to spread that fake news that Peter Obi admitted that the Obidient movement is now divided. That some are with them and some are not with them. That's not what he meant at all. Peter Obi was only responding to the question in respect of the back and forth attack between Professor Wole Soyinka and some Obedients after he called them fascists. And Peter Obi trying to distinguish between the real Obedients and the moles that were planted, or those who pretend to be Obedients but were actually from the APC or PDP. So these are the people that try to give the Obedience and Peter Obi himself bad name. You can see that Peter Obi said there that some of the Obedience, I must tell you, some of the Obedience, I must tell, or people they mentioned are obedient. What he's saying there was that people you think that they are obedient, people that do some things that people think that they are obedient. He said they are not entirely people who are with us. He said the opposition have come into it and are using it at times. So the opposition have planted people within the obedience. So what it means is that there are people who are pretending to be obedient, but within the real obedience, there is no problem. There's no division. But there are people who are trollers on social media, who are working for the opposition. For example, there are some people now who are in the camp of the so-called faction of the Labour Party. You don't expect them to say anything good. So they are there. You think that they are obedient, but they are working against the party. They are working against the Obidient Movement. So these moles within the Obidient Movement does not necessarily mean that the Obidient Movement is divided. That's not what it means. It's only P2B is acknowledging that there are people who came in to the Obidient Movement for mischief from day one. so that they can see how they can paint the movement in a bad light. Because you can see now everybody is complaining about the Obidient Movement. You can see the line of question that the Arise reporter was asking, that the Obidient Movement, they are caustic and all that. And there are people who are saying that Peter Obi should call them to order. But there is nothing the Obidient Movement have said, or members of the Obidient Movement have said online that I have seen, that is close to the kind of ethnic slurs that were coming out from the mouth of Bayo Nanuga, one of the spokespersons of Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the INEC declared president-elect, and who is also a member of his transition committee. The kind of things he was saying before the election in Lagos State and after the election in Lagos State. I have never seen Obidient say the kind of things that was coming out from his mouth. But I have not been seeing people saying that Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu should call him to order. And this Bayo Nanuga is a respected journalist with decades of experience. Yet he's more caustic in his utterances, in his write-ups, than anything I have seen anywhere by the Obedience. Nobody said that Aswad should call them to order. Nobody have ever said that APC should call them to order. Nobody has ever said that President Muhammadu Buhari, who is the leader of the APC in Nigeria, should call them to order. But it's only Peter Obi that is expected to call the Obedience to order, to carry the blames of whatever the Obedience said, as if the Obedience are minors. They are not adults. Many of them taxpayers. Many of them even grandfathers. That what they said, Peter Obi should be held responsible for it. Like the kind of rubbish that because vice presidential candidate of Labour Party said that anybody that is sworn, if anybody is sworn in without meeting the requirements of section 134, subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution, that will be equivalent to swearing in the military. That's what Dati Baba Ahmed said. They say he has committed treason. Then they say that Peter Obi also committed treason because he did not stop Dati Ahmed from saying that. Or he did not condemn Dati Baba Ahmed. But Tinubu is never held accountable for the things Femi Fani-Kayode have been saying since the campaign began and since after the campaign. But Peter Obi should be held accountable. And you can see the kind of question the Arise news anchor was asking Peter Obi. He wants Peter Obi to be blamed for the altercation that took place between Soyinka and some members of the Obidient Movement. That's the kind of blackmail they use against Peter Obi. Oh, the Obidient, I love Peter Obi, but I don't like his Obidient Movement, the way they talk. But you like Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And you like the way his media people talk, go about insulting everybody, spreading ethnic slurs and hate. But Tinubu is not to be held accountable. He should not be held accountable to call those people to order. But Peter Obi is always the one that must call the Obedience to order. He must carry carry the cross of the Obedience. That's unfair. And I think it's high time that even Peter Obi himself should stop responding to that question of the obedience did this, obedience do that, did that to people. Social media is open to everybody. And many of the people they are adults. So Peter Obi should not be held responsible for what any of them said. And even Peter Obi himself acknowledged in this interview that you watch that even sometimes the way they react to him when he said things, I have seen people threaten that there will be problem even for Peter Obi himself if he goes ahead and withdraw the case he has against Aswad Bola Tinubu at the election petition tribunal. Because there was this issue of Peter Obi being pressed to withdraw the election petition he filed against Aswad Bola Tinubu and the APC. So some people, Obidient Movement, will say you can't withdraw that matter. You see what they were saying online, that Peter Obi has no right to withdraw it. Even if he wants to, he cannot, because there will be consequences. So it got to show you that these people are passionate about the country and about the direction that Peter Obi is taking them, and they know the direction they want to go, and they don't want Peter Obi to go against that direction. So that's why Peter Obi is telling everybody, calm down, let us pursue the legal process, the due process, and see what it will lead to. Whether it will lead to his getting his mandate back or not, it's not left for the judiciary. But Peter Obi is always the person that the media expects and other opinion molders expect to call his followers to order. But other people are not expected. Other candidates are not expected to call their followers to order. Even when their followers are people we know. Because this one on social media, there are so many people you don't even know who they are, operating under the names of aliases here and there. But we know Femi Fani-Kayode, we know Bayo Onanuga, we know Festus Keyamo. The things they say, most of the time people hold them accountable for what they said, but you never heard them hold Tinubu accountable for what these people say. You never heard Wole Soyinka say that Tinubu should call Bayo Onanuga to order. You never heard them say that Tinubu should call Femi Fani-Kayode to order. You never heard Soyinka say that Keyamo should call, that Tinubu should call Keyamo to order. It's always Peter Obi that should call his people to order. And that's not fair. Truth be told, that is not fair. So you can see that Peter Obi, like his followers, has always been a very respectful candidate before, during, and after the election. And I like the way Peter Obi also answered the question, because the anchor wanted Peter Obi to condemn the obedience outright. He let the world knows. He wanted the world to know that this obedience, these are people who have suffered as a result of the kind of Nigeria that we are inside. They are angry young men and women who want a new Nigeria, who nothing seems to work in their favor in the country. That's basically it. So those who were expecting that Peter Obi would have condemned the obedience, I think the answer that Peter Obi gave was a perfect response. He didn't condemn them because that was what they are looking for. If I had condemned them, they would say that Peter Obi condemns the obedience. Ask them never to say like this. Is it Peter Obi that buy data to the obedience? Many of the obedience are online with their own data. They are not like the kind of fake obedience that are being given money for data by the APC, the PDP, and all whatnot. So we can't even control them, can't tell them what to do, what to post, what to write, what to say. Because even telling them what to say is goes against what they are looking for. Because they want a new Nigeria. It is this old Nigeria where people collect money and turn black to white that disobedience detests. And people expect them to still follow the old Nigeria they want to get away from. It's not possible. So it's wrong for anybody to claim that the obedience are the problem on social media. They are the reason Peter Obi is not supported by some people. It's not true. Anybody who see not supporting Peter Obi deliberately don't want to support Peter Obi. The person is just part of those who are the problem of the Nigeria, who are the problem in the country that many Nigerians, especially the youth, want to change. And for misrepresentation of what Peter Obi said, that's the reason why I did this video, to correct that wrong impression that Peter Obi said that there is division in the Obidient Movement. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. And for those who are blaming him for the things that the Obedience posts on social media, Peter Obi should not be held accountable for what the Obedience posts on social media, when Aswad Bola Tinubu is not held accountable for what his followers are posting online. Even in the print media, the things they issue as press statements from Bayo Nanoga, Femi Fani-Kayode, Festus Keyamo, and so many of them. And many of them are old hands, yet they spread very divisive statements, ethnic slurs, caustic write-ups. But Aswad Bola Tinubu is not told to call them to order. It is unfair for anybody to tell Peter Obi to call the obedience to order when Aswad Bola Tinubu is not held accountable for what his followers are saying, are writing, and are doing, including even the violence that took place in Lagos. Aswad Bola Tinubu has never been held accountable for it. If that thing was done by the Labour Party, all those violence that MC Olomo promoted, all those disruptions and alleged killings that took place in Lagos were done by Labour Party people, supporters, the whole country would have been talking about the reason why Peter Obi is the problem of the country, that he failed to call the obedience to order, that the obedience were disrupting the election. snatching ballot papers, telling people not to come out to vote. Can you imagine that? And Peter Obi are doing nothing about it? That the obedience are going all over Lagos, telling people, if you're not going to vote for Labour Party, don't come out. Nobody was held accountable for that. But if it was Peter Obi supporters that did what they did in Lagos, everybody would be talking about it and saying that Peter Obi has failed in his leadership quest for Nigeria's presidency, because he didn't call the obedience to order when they were issuing threats to other Nigerians not to come out unless if they are going to vote for Peter Obi and the Labour Party. That's not fair. That's unjust. And it's condemnable. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you will be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you and God bless you.